Hey there, Ken Lammer's back again, and today we're going to make rum raisin cookies. Now, you know, if you're a guy and you're stuck with some rum in your liquor cabinet, I don't know why you've got it, unless maybe you're a pirate, or maybe you're expecting a visit from a young lady and you know that she prefers this to bourbon. Legitimate reasons for having rum. Other than that, as a guy, why would you have it? I was gifted this, so I have to put it to good use. And I can't think of a better use than rum raisin cookies. So let's get started. Alright. First thing, we get a simmering pot out. Now, in the simmering pot, we add raisins, water, and rum. Okay, so we're supposed to get a 1/4 cup of rum. Oh, I had the cup out. Looks close enough to a 1/4 cup to me. A 1/2 cup of water. And finally, a cup of raisins. Now we bring it to a boil. I'm not really sure how long it takes to boil rum. Now it's boiling, we set it down. And 30 minutes from now, it's supposed to come back and all it's supposed to have been absorbed. It ain't been boiled off yet. 30 minutes might took us. I'm back 10 minutes later. The raisins are burnt. It was at simmering. I swear it was at simmering. Unbelievable. Well, try two. What do I do with these now? Okay, so now we're on my second try for doing the rum raisin cookies, because the first try, when it told me to leave the raisins in the rum and the water for half an hour to, you know, absorb the rum and water, and it would come back and it'd be all fine. I came back 10 minutes later and they were burnt. 10 minutes. So, obviously, the recipe, So I am going to try it again, and let's see where we can go this time. Now we simmer until the raisins have absorbed all that rum and water. And we keep a much closer eye on it than we did last time because, well, that's it for my box of raisins. Okay, so the recipe says, you know, simmer until the raisins are plump and liquid is evaporated. We're going to go with simmer until the raisins are plump because the last time liquid evaporated and it burnt the dang thing. So the little bit of rum and water that's left in there is going to be left in there. And it'll probably make the cookies a little bit stronger, but you know, life sucks. Alright, now let's start the next part. My brand new mixing bowl. My brand new mixing bowl. Ta-da! This is what you get from Amazon when you think you're ordering something normal size because you just looked at the picture, and it comes in and you could probably feed the 82nd Airborne Division out of this thing. Okay, so next, beat sugar and butter in large bowl. Okay, so, and for those of you who are wondering if I'm stupid enough to make the same mistake twice, sugar. Okay, so let's open this up. Okay, next thing, we add a cup of butter. I am told reliably by Siri that a cup of butter is the equivalent of 2 sticks. We will see what we will see. Alright, now I get to mix it. Oh, that's helpful. Come on now. Good. Yeah, there ain't no mixing going on there. When all else fails, folks, remember, this is a metal bowl and butter melts. So you can put it on top of the burner and get your butter to the point that it's workable. And the great thing about this being a big bowl is that all the mess that should be spraying all over my kitchen is being stopped by the bowl, which is cool. Okay, so that's mixed. Mix until fluffy. I mean, it looks orangish yellow. I'll assume that's fluffy. Beat in an egg. Mix, mix, I meant mix. By the way, folks, yes, I was supposed to start my chili thing tonight too, but apparently my grocery store doesn't agree with me making chili because the call-in order I had, they didn't bother to fill in about half of the chili ingredients. And mind you, they didn't charge me for it either, so I can't complain too much. Dummy. For God's sake, why would you make the same button to make it run, the button that ejects it? Okay, so that egg's beaten in. Next, stir in remaining ingredients. Well, remaining ingredients would be baking soda, baking powder, and flour. We add a half teaspoon baking powder. We add 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose baking powder. You know, you gotta love flour. There's a reason I'm only using this sweater now for baking. It's kind of like grease in a garage. It's just going to get on you. Stir in raisins. And what little bit of rum's left. Doing this with a spoon because I don't want a bunch of raisin bits. I want actual raisins. Now the raisins are actually making the dough hold together better. Interesting. Okay, 375. Turn on the bake. It's at 375. Now we do the interesting thing. Okay, now I have a big baking pan for inside the oven. But I got my doggone cast iron skillet, as I'm told every cook, you know, anywhere south of, oh, I don't know, Toledo must have. And I have it, and you have to put oil on it, and you put it in the, you know, you bake it in for an hour in the oven, upside down, and you let it sit for 3 hours. You're supposed to do this 3 or 4 times. So I did that about 4 times with the cast iron skillet. Now, in order to keep the bottom of your oven from getting destroyed, just covered with grease, they tell you, oh, put your baking pan down underneath it. Now, what they don't tell you about is that it effectively ruins your baking pan. I cannot get that stuff off to save my life. I think I'm going to have to resort to something acidic, maybe lemon juice, but that's for another day. So, I'm going to be using some smaller pans and stuff I've got. They recognize these as what I made geta in, and I've had this little thing for my mini oven, toaster oven, whatever you want to call it, for a while. because as a bachelor, you are required to have a toaster oven and a microwave. That's what you're required to survive out of. This thing here is a mystery to most men. So, take this, we take drops of it out, and we put them in the thing. They're supposed to be about 2 inches apart. It has about the consistency, I would say, really, of kind of peanut butter, dried out peanut butter. So there they are in the little pan, and now I got to fill out the rest of it. There's going to be a lot of cleaning after all this is done. By the way, my entire kitchen smells like a distillery now. Not expecting company, but you know, it'd probably be a bad thing if my landlord thought I was running a still or something. Although if I pointed out that it smelled like rum, I'd probably get off the hook. Because, you know, I'm a guy. Okay, there's two things. That's got 6 of them in there. We have to pull the other one too. Okay. Another one of these. This one's just going to have 3. One of which is going to be pretty big. A couple of which are going to be pretty big. Interesting to see how that turns out. Okay, so I now have 3 dishes full of 1, 2, 6, 12, 15, approximately 15 cookies. And how many does it say it'll make? Ah, it says 15. So we're on track. Let's put them in the oven and see what happens. Ooh, that's really heat. Hot. Hot, hot, hot. Amazing how quick the oven gets that hot. They're in there. And now we wait 9 to 11 minutes. It is 9 minutes until 9. So at 2100 or so, I will start checking it. Till then, clean up. Blah. Bah humbug. Okay, time to see what we can see. 9 minutes. Holy freaking cow. I think they're done. Off. Oh. I always feel like I'm a surgeon going in. There we go. And as usual, the thing from the top shelf seems to have baked quicker than the stuff from the lower shelf. Although one of them has some burning on it. That's a shame. Okay, let me give them a minute or two to cool down, and then I'll try them out, and you get to see whether I go thump or not. Okay, let's see what we can see here. Well, they're light and they don't hold together well. They don't hold together at all. in all honesty. Meh. Not bad. But, you know, they're warm and they're meh. Okay. They're okay cookies. Usually warm is when they taste the best. At least that's been my experience when I used to steal cookies from Mom back in the day. Let them sit for a while longer, see if that helps them get harder. Okay, so here's what the cookie looks like. Ta-da! Yeah, when they dried out, they did get to the point they were a little bit more held together. They fall apart the moment you bite into them. Yeah, we'll have a bigger review about this tomorrow morning. Okay, so the cookie recipe turned out okay. They're fine, right? Nothing spectacular here, in all honesty. The raisins are plump. The cookie itself is kind of meh. There's nothing there to it. You don't taste the rum at all. There's nothing there. It's adequate, but there's nothing to keep you from doing this. Right? It's just not a great cookie. But adequate. So, if anybody's interested, I think some fixes to this might be more raisins, right? Instead of 1 cup, a cup and a half, so that there are more raisins sticking out and got more flavor to that, which of course would mean more rum, a little bit more water for that to all absorb into the raisins. That might be a solution to make it somewhat better. Other than that, I'm thinking this is just a recipe that's going to be kind of okay, no matter what you do to it. Maybe if I'd used, you know, white granulated sugar instead of the brown sugar, I don't know. I doubt that made that much of a difference. But all in all, it's an adequate recipe, provides an adequate cookie, and the next thing we're going to try is chili. Stay tuned for that, because if there's anything you can screw up, it's chili. Masalama, y'all.